What's up, y'all? I'm Darren Randall. We back with Lamar. Welcome back to Let It Be Known. And we just had the Chargers versus the Jaguars. And Lamar, I know you for sure thought this game was going. Who'd you end up having winning this game?
I actually was going for the Chargers to win. I thought it was going to be a really good game throughout, just like literally for the whole 4 quarters. But I did have the Chargers pulling it out. But man, the Chargers like they came out and they took a strong lead and they blew it, man.
Yeah,
They
so
blew it to the end. They blew it at the end.
and the Chargers still looking like the same Chargers. And if Brandon Staley, if he hasn't started looking for a job yet, he should probably start looking right now because I think it's probably over with. Chargers fans been calling for his job. The media kind of been calling his job, and I think right now after this game, I feel like he deserves it. The Chargers was up 27-0 heading into like the second quarter, almost the end of the second. Trevor Lawrence had 4 interceptions in by the second quarter. Asante Samuel, he had 3 interceptions. He had the hat trick. So it was looking like the Jaguars were fully away. It looked like they were about to get their first round elimination, and the Chargers were smiling at the halftime. Even though the Chargers they having to finish that second quarter with the field goal. They was looking happy. Everyone was smiling. Justin Herbert looked confident. But I think when I looked at the game, I never thought that Justin Herbert fully had the game in hand. Like when I look at Trevor Lawrence, I'd be like, okay, that's some Peyton Manning in him. He got some Eli Manning in him. He got some dog in him. He looked like the comeback kid. But I look at Justin Herbert, I feel like when the game starts going down, he starts going down. When the game goes up, he goes up. Justin Herbert always moves with the momentum to me. I don't know. Do you see
Yeah.
the same thing I see when I look at him?
Um. Nah. I mean, well, yeah. My bad. I do, but I don't. I definitely see the comparison to Peyton Manning. But I feel like he can have better command of
No,
the
when I
offense.
say just that's what I was talking about with Trevor Lawrence. But when I'm talking about Justin
Mm,
Herbert, I'm saying
mm.
do you agree with how he moves with momentum when the game goes up and when the game goes down?
I feel like also like the lucky for that. I feel like it kind of depends on the defense because we've seen sometimes, some defenses he plays, when my bad when you say better when you say better throughout. I mean when you say moves up, you talking about like throughout the season or throughout the game type thing.
Just throughout games, I feel like when the momentum's high, he goes
Mm.
high, but when the momentum's low, he goes low. He doesn't fight
Yeah,
against the adversity at times, but he does with injury. Remember when he got hurt his ribs? He came in, he played good, but I feel like when the
yeah,
crowd when the crowd was quiet, Justin Herbert, he would just keep on picking on him. But when the crowd started to come
yeah.
against him, they started yelling at him instead. He started backing in the corner. He stopped punching back, stopped fighting back.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely seen that a little bit, but I feel like a lot. But I feel like also too, maybe like like you had mentioned Brandon Staley earlier. I feel like if he
Right.
was able to call a better game down the stretch, I feel like that wouldn't even have been an issue to be honest.
I
But
totally
I
agree
definitely
with
see what
that
you're
too.
saying. I see like that Jaguars stadium that shit started to get rocking. That's why I put so much emphasis on sometimes on that home field advantage because I feel like that does play a part. But I do like you said too, like when the Chargers went up with 27-0 or not even 27-0, they was up like what 17-0, and you still even seen Justin Herbert, on third down, just picking these guys apart, not even missing a beat. So I definitely see what you're saying there too. But yeah, like when that defense started rocking though, and when that crowd started getting loud, I definitely did see Justin Herbert started kind of decline in his performance.
He went 273, 1 touchdown, 0 interception. It's not like he played a bad game. It just when the going
Oh
got
yeah.
tough, he wasn't making the play that needed to be made. And like you said, I put a lot of the blame on coaching. But if you had the opportunity, would you move on from Justin Herbert or would you move on from Staley?
No, definitely not, man. I feel like Justin Herbert, that's a generational talent, and to be honest too, I feel like I kept a pretty close eye on this game. I feel like even down the stretch, I feel like I mean it was a few throws that Justin Herbert probably could have made on third down that could have
Right.
maybe sealed the game,
Like
but
that
I feel like
touchdown to
even like
Keenan
it was
Allen.
yeah, yeah, that was a high throw right there, yeah, and you're right because instead of them going for a field goal. They could have had a touchdown right there. He missed them high on that one. But Justin Herbert, I mean, he played pretty well just throughout. Like you say, he didn't play a bad game, but there definitely was a few throws that he definitely could have made to like kind of like make him elite. So that's definitely things that he definitely needs to work on going into next year. I would definitely say. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think if anything, they will move on from Staley. If anything, they wouldn't move on from Herbert. Herbert is definitely one of those guys that you wouldn't want to move on from. He's a great locker room guy. Everybody on the team loves him. And yeah, everybody in the NFL knows that shit. They would love to have a guy like Justin Herbert on their team.
I think
Well, talent
anybody,
like that.
yeah, talent like that, anybody would love to have Justin Herbert. And you seen at the end of the game, towards the fourth quarter, or in the fourth quarter, towards the end of the game, it got crunch time. The Jaguars ended up making a great comeback, and they had a chance to go. I want to say they had a chance to make it 28-30 or 27-30. They could have just went for the field goal, but right before that, right after the touchdown, you seen Bosa. He ended up getting frustrated and he took his helmet off. He slammed it on the ground because he said that the offensive lineman did a false start. The refs didn't end up calling it. And then after he threw his helmet and slammed it, he tried the coach ended up picking it up. He grabs it again, slams it once again. Do you feel like
I feel that.
any
I
of
don't know
this?
what the
Do
heck.
you feel like any of this game, any of this loss has to go on the Bosa?
No, I wouldn't say so. Just because we all seen the game, and when the game was 27-7. We all thought, Chargers had this game in the bag, which they should have had the game in the bag. Even when the Jags came out and scored, coming out of halftime, made the game 27-14. Still, Chargers should have this game in the bag. They should at least score, at least, I mean, it's easy for me to say because I'm not in the game or calling the plays, but I feel like they could at least score, whether it was field goals or touchdowns, they could at least score maybe like another touchdown or even 14 points to really put them over the edge. Because when you look at the final score, that would have made a huge difference. At least a touchdown would have made one. So I feel like that was just a huge letdown. I feel like the defense played. They played as good as they could be. They as good as they can really. They play as good as they can really play. And in the first half, second half, the offense and they couldn't score. So I feel like this was a team loss though. This is a team loss in my opinion.
So I'm gonna agree with that, but no blame goes to Bosa, even though his actions end up leading towards the 2-point conversion, was later led to the field goal for the win. No blame, not
Nah,
1%, not no blame to Bosa.
no, I don't blame Boza.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that though. I don't think no blame deserves to Bosa just because I think he was frustrated overall just from coaching, from player wise. It's like damn, he knew it was coming. It was down. They all just up 27-0. He felt the momentum. He knew that they were choking, and once again, he was watching it unravel right before his eyes, and he knew it was nothing he could do about it. It was like it was the
Mm-hmm.
part two to a horror movie. Once again, we seen it a couple of seasons ago. It feels like every season the Chargers end up choking either in the playoffs or right before the playoffs, trying to make it to the playoffs, or maybe a divisional game they choke. It's like they known as just the chokers.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that too. How yeah, how you mentioned it as well. Boza, yeah, like I was just gonna say he was acting out of emotion. But like I definitely don't think that had anything to do with them losing, or I wouldn't put any blame on him. But it was funny for some reason. When I first saw the clip, I think see, I thought he only slammed it once. I thought that was the first time when he took it. Like it seemed like the coach tried to give him his helmet, and he like took it and like slammed it, which I thought was pretty funny. I'm just like, why would he do like it's like damn, he just gave you the
Yeah.
helmet, you gonna slam it on the floor again? That's kind of an asshole move. But yeah, I didn't know he did it twice. So yeah, I mean he definitely deserved a penalty for that. And it makes sense though, because when I first seen the play too, I was like, damn, why he get a penalty if he slammed the helmet on his own, his own sideline, But yeah, I didn't see that first initial helmet slam. So
Right. He slammed it once and then he slammed it once right before he entered the sideline. Then once he got to the sideline, he slammed it once again. But yeah, we're
yeah.
going but with Herbert, is it time to question him as the elite quarterback? Is he still considered? Should he still be considered one of the top 10, top 8 guys? Did this game hurt
Um,
him?
That's a great question. I feel like this game might have hurt him a little bit, just because he could have played just a little better down the stretch. Like that kind of goes into that category. And you mentioned it as well as kind of like being clutch down the stretch.
Right.
I feel like that clutch factor definitely means a lot when you are mentioning that top five, top 10 category as being an elite quarterback in the NFL. So I feel like that's definitely something that he has to work on. But damn, it was another point I was trying to make. It'll come back to me. But anyway, yeah. But I feel like also too, like a lot of things, like he was missing, some pieces. Like he has Keenan Allen back, but once they, the defense adjusts, the Jags defense is pretty good.
They
They're
was
pretty
shutting shit
good
down.
defense. Yeah, they were shutting shit down. So that's what I'm saying. Once they kind of like, got to Keenan Allen and kind of like double teamed him a bit and kind of, kind of like shut him down. It was nowhere. It was nowhere really else. Justin Herbert could have really went. Except for the tight end spot. Because they don't have Mike Williams. He was hurt. And then I believe they have another guy that was injured too. So that kind of means a lot too, man. When you kind of so used to having certain receivers and then they get injured right before the playoffs or right before that game.
And then you have no run game. You have nothing else applying any pressure. It's literally only pass. And if like let's say you get
Yeah.
like Eckler into it, it's more like a short pass out to him. He does like a little out route, a little slant, a little stop and go type of thing, just stand right in the middle of the field. And but I don't know. I feel like it's time to move on. Who would be the best coach to come in and fill the Chargers shoes?
Mm, Definitely an offensive guy, in my opinion. Just so obviously Herbert is the staple of your team. That's your building block. That's why I said you can't move on from Herbert at this point. That's the guy that you definitely want to build around. Plus, he's under contract. I believe he's under his rookie contract for another 2 years. So why not, build around this generational talent, and then see what he can do for the next 2 years. But I would say maybe they can bring in. Maybe it's funny because I mean I'm not sure how true this is, but a lot of people say that Sean Payton is linked to Justin Herbert. A lot of people say that Sean Payton has expressed extreme interest in wanting to coach Justin Herbert. And it's funny because we didn't really know if that Chargers job was going to be open. I didn't really know if it was going to be open just because I feel like Staley has been doing a decent job. I don't feel like his job
Mm,
should have been in that much of a question. It must be some things that I don't really know about. That's not my team like that, so I don't really, I don't really dig really in deep into their coaching staff like that. But it must be something, it must be something that I don't really know, or like something behind the scenes that a lot of the people in that organization might be kind of, kind of lacking from Staley. So yeah, maybe Sean Payton, maybe they might need a more of a veteran coach in that organization. So maybe Sean Payton. But a lot of things with Sean Payton, a lot of people saying that wherever he goes, he's gonna want a lot of power, such as like ownership, maybe not even ownership. I'm sorry, like GM status type of thing. Making that type of those decisions. So
see,
it's
what
gonna
I
be
think.
tough. Maybe even my bad to cut you off. Maybe even Kingsbury if he gets another shot at being a head
No,
coach. Maybe they
no,
trust him. I don't
no. I would hate to see that.
know.
There's no point in even switching coaches if you want to do that. I feel like he's done a better job than Kingsbury. But
Mhm.
I feel like my biggest problem with Stanley is probably my biggest problem will have to be probably his connection between the player. I think player and coach will probably be the biggest connection or biggest difference that they have. You seen with Jim Harbaugh or John Harbaugh when I was trying to tell you that they should end up bringing him in. Wait, we talking about? Yeah, Jim. I'm tweaking, man. I'm over talking about John and
Yeah,
Jim. But remember, I was talking about how they should bring in Jim Harbaugh. I feel like Jim Harbaugh
yeah.
and Colin Kaepernick's connection. The same thing with Alex Smith. It's like when you have a
Mhm.
coach that's been there, he knows how to manage grown-ups. He knows how to have a one-on-one with the quarterback, like
Mhm.
Jim Harbaugh, because he was a quarterback. He knows what a quarterback room is like. He knows what a player
Mhm.
needs. He knows what the quarterback needs, and I feel like you need like a friendship type of thing with your players.
Yeah. No, yeah,
Instead of
I
like
could see that too. I could see.
a,
I mean, if Jim Harbaugh is, I mean, shit. I mean, to be honest, if Jim Harbaugh is absolutely 100% ready and willing to come back to the NFL, I can definitely see Chargers being a perfect spot for him. Because there's a quarterback in place. Like you said, Harbaugh played quarterback. He can relate really well to Justin Herbert. Um, and they're both kind of like West Coast guys. I believe Harbaugh coached against them in college, or whatnot. So, yeah, I feel like like you said, the familiarity with your players definitely means a lot. So I definitely would agree with that too.
and next, let's talk about another crazy game on a Wild West Saturday. You had San Francisco 49ers playing against Seattle Seahawks. And shout out Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Because Geno Smith, he wasn't supposed to be here. Like he said, what he say? They wrote him off, but he ain't right back. And this game,
Okay.
this game, he did kind of right back a little bit. But the San Francisco 49ers, they were expected to come in. I don't want to say blow the wheels off them, but they were expecting to at least win pretty dominantly, and which they did at the
Mhm.
end of the game. But if you want to talk about just the first half, the Niners was pretty much neck to neck with Seattle. They ended up winning to 20, I think it was like 23-41, I want to say. And Seattle
Mhm.
looked good. DK was tearing up Travarius Ward. They ended up having a switch. You had Geno Smith. He was over there dissecting the field early in the first half, but the San Francisco 49ers defense came strong. And you seen Brock Purdy. We had questions about him. We had questions about his first rookie game. Is he going to be able to handle the pressure? Is he going to be able to handle a divisional game, a playoff game against a rival team? And I feel like he did a pretty good job. In the first half, he looked shaky, kind of like a rookie. What did you say?
Uh, I wouldn't say like a rookie. I just feel like he was just, yeah. My bad. Okay, maybe I'll say like a rookie. Like he definitely looked a little nervous. Or not even say a little nervous. He just like he wasn't experienced. He didn't really know how to handle the jitters. I would definitely say. Um, but he definitely proved us wrong in the second half though. But I feel like even in the first half though, I feel like he definitely still played really well. Maybe the first two drives he probably was jittery, but
Right.
I feel like even in the first quarter, like even towards the end of the first quarter, I feel like once like towards the end of that first quarter, once they scored maybe their second touchdown, I feel like Purdy played lights out.
Yeah, and he put the ball at risk only 2 times, but like I said, it was his first
Hmm.
game in the playoffs. He was trying to get the jitters out, but for a rookie to come in and did what he did, it was impressive. We never seen a rookie. I don't think we ever seen a rookie get our last time I think since Russell Wilson to get a playoff win. And besides that, we never
Yeah.
really seen a rookie undrafted free agent or a rookie, Mister Irrelevant do something like this. We never seen him win in the playoff game. We never seen him lead a team to the playoffs. So Brock Purdy's in a perfect position, but does this make you more confident in Brock Purdy going into the playoffs or going into the later rounds, or do you still feel the same confidence?
No, yeah, this makes me super confident in Brock Purdy. Just seeing what he can do in his first, like his first performance, his first opportunity. But this is huge. I'm super impressed, super duper impressed. I didn't think he was gonna play this well. He played very lights out, like you say. He barely put the ball in harm's way. If he did that, well, he did a few times, but I feel like he did that when it was already when the 49ers was already up by like maybe 20, 30 points. But some of those throws that he was making, man, and then his ability to escape. Not saying he's the fastest guy, but I didn't know he was even that, quick to even, his pocket presence is really good, man. I didn't. I'm really impressed. That's what I'm really impressed about is Brock Purdy's pocket presence. I feel like he has a good feel for like where he's at in the pocket, the way he's able to escape in and out, and still able to like use his feet to find guys down the field. I feel like that plays a huge part in your offense too. I feel like the reason why you guys are so able to be so explosive, even passing the ball, is because of Brock Purdy's legs. The way he's able to, like I said, get out the pocket, find guys down the field like Ayuk, or even find guys like Kittle, and then guys like Ayuk and Kittle and Devo can, get those rack yards, those run after catch yards. But yeah,
Yeah.
that shit plays a huge part.
I don't know if you've seen. I want to say this was towards like the end of the third quarter. It was like the Niners were in position to score, and Debo Samuel he ended up getting a big slant play across the field, and he gets tackled by
Mhm.
Jonathan Abram. He tackles him by his leg, and Debo Samuel's remind you he's coming off an ankle and knee injury, and the first thing he does, Jonathan Abram grabs him. He's getting up, but he's still holding on to his leg, and he just starts twisting this shit on some WWE. Like when WWE how they try to do like a weird ass little twisty to the leg. I don't know,
Yeah.
but do you feel like Jonathan Abram was being dirty right there? Because I
Um.
end up giving the Niners a big hype. They end up getting rallied after that. They end up, the whole team came together, and the Seattle 49ers, they end up start scuffling.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I do remember that play though. I definitely feel like that play. I don't know. I don't really see that play as dirty. I don't really see. I didn't see him twist it. It's funny. The reason why I say that too is because I see. I've seen a lot of players, not a lot, but I've seen a few players make tackles like that where they kind of wrap guys up, and then when they get up they kind of like still have the ankle, and they kind of
Yeah,
like do some, I don't know, they do some like where they kind of just kind of like toss the leg or whatever, kind of like type of thing. Maybe he did, I don't know, maybe it was like a quick twist, maybe it wasn't, maybe I didn't really see a twist though. um but I feel like Abram, knowing how Abram plays, I feel like people automatically probably just think that was a dirty play, you know.
right.
um, but I feel like, yeah, but I feel like when I seen that play the 49ers, it was already kind of like momentum. It was already driving, kind of like I feel like they was going to score no matter what anyway. I feel like that just kind of like really really riled them up. Especially they had a little scuffle or a little after that. Debo kind of walked away, but I think one of the, I don't know if it was Jennings or Ayuk, but one of those guys kind of like got in the face of Abram or one of those other guys.
I'm
So I
pretty
feel like
sure it's
that
probably
kind of
both of them.
brought, yeah.
But Debo said he stayed on the ground a little bit longer. He stayed away a little bit longer because he said he felt like his temper was getting away from him. He, like I said, Debo a dog. That's why they named him Debo. He don't be playing that.
Mm-hmm.
And but I personally think it was a little bit dirty. I don't know. I feel like he didn't need to hold on for that long. After he got the tackle, he should have just let him go. He was holding, I'm pretty sure, the same exact leg Debo was hurt, or Debo has just came off the injury from. I feel like it was a little bit dirty. I wouldn't be surprised if Jonathan Abram did it. You know, even Kyle Shanahan came off the sideline irritated, a little mad, because he thought Debo Samuel got hurt. And that's how, like I said, he thought he got hurt. So that's clearly he did it. He did some twisting. He did something serious enough for him to think that Debo maybe re-injured the same leg.
Yeah.
But who the Niners end up making it to the next round? Who they got? I want to say who's that between?
So
In
the
the NFC,
Niners
is
would
that
have
between
to
the
play.
Vikings?
They would have to play the winner out of. Nah, it's not even the winner, because the Niners are the number 2 seed. So basically, if the Giants beat the Vikings, this is if the Giants beat the Vikings. If the Giants beat the Vikings,
Right.
then that means that the Giants will play the.
Oh, okay, no, it's right. Okay.
They will play the Niners. No, the Giants will play the Eagles. No, my bad. If the Buccaneers,
that shit be getting complicated. So, can you see it?
yeah,
Let me put it like down. All right, so it's if the Giants. Okay, if the Cowboys beat the Buccaneers, they play the Eagles. If the New York Giants beat the Vikings, they play the San Francisco 49ers. All right, so let's rally out the last couple games. Let's see who we got tomorrow. So far in the 2023 playoffs, you got the Niners that just beat Seattle. You got the Jaguars that just came back with a impressive win against the Chargers. You got and then so those are the 2 teams that are moved on and passed. Next game tomorrow, which is tomorrow, you're gonna have the Cowboys versus the Buccaneers.
yeah.
Okay, so who you
That's
got?
Monday.
It's Cowboys versus Buccaneers Monday?
Yeah, Monday night.
Damn. Okay, so far you got the Eagles versus the San Francisco, or you had the Seattle Seahawks versus the 49ers, and they end up winning today. And then you had the Jaguars versus the Chargers. They end up winning in a crazy late game today. And then you got the Cowboys versus the Buccaneers Monday. You got the Bills versus the Dolphins tomorrow, and you got the Vikings versus the Giants tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's go. Let's start off with the Cowboys versus Buccaneers. Who do you have?
Cowboys Buccaneers. I got the Buccaneers. Just because Brady is that guy. Even though the Buccaneers have been struggling this year, they've been struggling actually quite a bit. They're kind of going towards my bad. No, but
I'm gonna say
they kind of was in trouble towards the end of the season, but I feel like they definitely made an effort to pick up the momentum going into the playoffs. As long as their defense can play really well, though, I feel like they can pull this game out. But the Cowboys, I think the Cowboys are the favorite to win, but I got the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. I'm probably going with the Buccaneers too, but I don't know. I feel like the Cowboys they've been kind of building momentum for me at least. I've been kind of thinking like, damn, the Cowboys might be able to get this done, especially since they're at home. It might be a little bit too much for the Buck. Oh no, not at the home because the Buccaneers won their division, huh? So that it would be the Buccaneers at home. Okay, then I'm probably gonna stick with the Buccaneers. Also, it'll probably be hard for the Chargers to come in or for Cowboys to come in and beat Tom Brady. But then with the next game, you're gonna have the Eagles versus the Giants. Who you going with that one?
Eagles, Giants, and Vikings,
The Giants, yeah, Giants versus the Vikings.
Yeah, so Vikings, Giants, I would have to go with I would go with the Vikings. I think even though the Vikings have been kind of flukish here and there sometimes throughout the season, I feel like their offense will be strong enough to beat the Giants.
Even though Giants, it seems like their strongest point has been their defense this season, and
Right.
especially going, last few games. I feel like Justin Jefferson. I feel like he's gonna make a difference tomorrow against the Giants. I feel like their DBs is not gonna be able to. I don't feel like the DBs are gonna be able to match up against Justin Jefferson. Feeling.
So this is actually my upset of the day. I think the Giants are gonna come and beat the Vikings. I think that the Giants got more dog in them. Like I said, they got more fight in them. It's gonna be like a game like today, even though the Chargers have probably more skill overall. But the underdog always got more heart. And the Vikings, I feel like they've been showing us the TNAR. I feel like they still got the same traits that they've had in the past, where it comes to they choking games, or they giving up leads, or something just going wrong for them. So I think the Vikings gonna continue this bad luck streak they've been on, and the Giants are gonna get another playoff win tomorrow. And so next you're gonna have the Vikings or the Bengals versus the Ravens.
For that one, I got the Bengals. Like we talked about this earlier in the week, the Ravens don't have Lamar Jackson, which is the superstar quarterback. They're the player they kind of lean on, especially on offense. Seeing we see what happens with their team when Lamar doesn't play. Last few like 3-4 games, they haven't won a game since then. So
Right.
I got the Bengals just because like I said, Ravens have like a second string or third string quarterback starting. This playoff game. So I think the Bengals are going to wipe the floor with the Ravens. I feel like the Ravens defense they're gonna try to fight, but it's only so much they can do. Especially when the Bengals they have Joe Burrow. He's a super good quarterback. His pocket presence is really really good as well, and he has three really good receiving weapons in Jamar Chase, T Higgins, and I forgot one other guy's name. But yeah, he has three really good wide receivers that he can feed the ball to. So I think that's going to make the difference right there. It's just the mismatch in the receivers and just not being able to cover all of those guys.
See the Bengals, so they just worked the Ravens a couple of days ago, or what last week, last weekend. They just spanked them for the right before the playoff to see who decides
Yeah.
between that coin flip. But Huntley wasn't playing. I was saying Huntley's playing this game. They said I'm pretty sure. So I think Huntley should be able to compete a lot better against the Bengals. I still think the Bengals gonna take it, but probably not a blowout like it was the last time they faced off against each other. I don't know. I'm probably gonna go like a 27-13 game. Bengals, Bengals win. But Dolphins versus the Bills. That's gonna be the first game in the morning. Who are you going with that?
Right there, I actually think this game is going to be a little closer than what people might think. Even though they do have Skylar Thompson playing, but these teams just played each other. Well, they played each other, a few times during the season. But
Right.
Skylar Thompson, he got his feet wet a few times during the year, but especially last game, he played a full game. And Even though they had a tough time scoring, they only scored 11 points, but I feel like they should build off last week. They have, I don't know if Tyreek Hill is playing. I think he might be questionable. But Jalen Waddle is going to be playing. So I feel like as long as they come in with a game plan, I feel like they might can compete. But I still got the Buffalo Bills. I feel like the Buffalo Bills are going to put up a lot of points against this team. I feel like the
Right.
Dolphins are going to have to try to keep up with the Bills. So I feel like the Bills are going to win this game by at least like 21 points. I feel like they're going to put up at least like maybe about 30 to 40 points. If
Damn.
I had to predict the score in this game, I would say maybe the score would be like 42 to 21. I would say.
42-21 Bills.
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree. So you got the rookie trying to come in and beat the Bills. The Bills are not going out easy. The Bills, even if they had two, I would still have the Bills. So it's gonna get ugly. I'm gonna say like you said, probably like 42-21. And good luck with the Dolphins next year. I think Tyreek Hill. I don't know. I'm not sure if he's playing or not, but I don't feel like that makes a difference. I would probably not even play him. Just get everybody ready for next year. Mike McDaniel's maybe try to find a quarterback. See if Lamar wants to come over to this Dolphins team. But it's pretty much over with when it comes to this Dolphins season. But if they do somehow beat the Bills and Tua comes back, hey, the Dolphins will be a problem. Cause shit, if you could beat Buffalo without Tua, then you could beat Buffalo, or you could beat the Chiefs, or you could beat the Bengals, or you could beat the Ravens. But yeah, but who's your what do you think is gonna be the upset of the day tomorrow, or the upset of the rest of the week, even if it's not tomorrow?
Um,
What do you think would be the biggest upset that you, even if you don't think it's
well,
gonna happen? What's the most realistic? Most realistic.
So what I think will be the biggest upset most definitely will be the Ravens. The Ravens, I feel like I wasn't gonna say the Dolphins, but I feel like the Ravens will be the most upset just because
Okay.
um, they haven't really been scoring any points. So I feel like the defense will definitely have to control this game and make this game very close. And I feel like they're like still kicking, still making it a game in the fourth quarter. Maybe they can pull it out. Maybe. And also too, in order for them to pull the upset, I feel like they have to have a few scoring plays on defense, maybe a pick six or maybe even a fumble recovery for a touchdown or something like that.
Right. It's
Maybe
gonna
like
have
a
to be a
block
literally
field goal
full
or
team.
something.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's literally going to be a full team game. It's gonna have to be 2-on-2 or 2-on-1, really, because it's gonna have to be the defense and the offense versus
Or shit, maybe
basically
even special
only
teams
the
too,
Bengals
because
defense. So they want to completely shut down that Bengals offense. So you want it to
yeah,
be your
maybe
two against they one defense. It's gonna have to be like the defense is gonna have to force their way to make points.
yeah, or maybe even special teams, because Devin Duvernay has
Right.
been known to take kickoff returns back, so maybe he can make a difference too. Maybe he might get a shot at kick return. So I don't know, man. The Ravens, I feel like that would be the biggest upset though. Ravens are somehow able to pull this game out. That would be definitely the talk of the town because everybody been talking about Lamar Jackson and his
I think
contracts and
Lamar Jackson. I think
everybody.
he'll definitely come back. That knee all of a sudden will just be healed. Talking about I wished
No,
it to a genie.
he's not coming back.
He gonna be like,
A lot of people have just been, just all agreeing like, and Lamar Jackson, even though a lot of times these players say they don't watch TV and they don't like listen to the critics, and they also try to like, stay off social media to like stay, to not hear about certain things. But I know Lamar Jackson is listening, and I know he's hearing people say, literally everyone is agreeing, saying they wouldn't come back if it was Lamar Jackson. Why risk your body and why risk your knee? Why risk the rest of your career for this team that doesn't even want to play you? That basically seem like they don't even trust you to
right, right.
to lead to be their quarterback for the next few years. They don't want to pay you, so why put your body on line for this team? So I feel like Lamar Jackson. I feel like his time might be done in Baltimore.
Damn. Okay.
But
Damn.
the most
Shit.
realistic thing I think that's gonna happen though. Bengals gonna win that game. The Dolphins is, and like you said, you don't even think Tyreek Hill gonna be that much of a difference if he does play. I don't think so either. Just because I feel like the chemistry with the rookie quarterback and Tyreek Hill is not gonna be the same.
Right.
They're gonna like Mike McDaniels. The reason why I say this is not gonna be that much of an upset if they did win, just because Mike McDaniels kind of reminds me of Shanahan. And you mentioned earlier in year two how shit you low key think Mike McDaniels might be a little smarter than Shanahan low key. So
Hey, I
that's
was
saying a
talking
lot. So
stupid.
that shit. So look what Shanahan is
Hey,
doing for
I
Purdy.
was talking
Shit with
stupid.
shit like shit. What if Mike McDaniels draw some great scheme for the rookie for his rookie? So I find it funny
Yeah.
that both teams, well, both Mike McDaniels and Shanahan is dealing with rookie quarterback situation right now. So obviously we see Shanahan; he's more veteran head coach, veteran coach. So he, I feel like his scheme is a little better. But we're gonna see tomorrow, man. We're gonna see what Mike McDaniels has in
Yeah.
store for us with the rookie.
And then also like his scheme's better. He's been around with the squad. Those all the players been with each other. So really all you're doing is implementing that quarterback in there. With the Dolphins team, you basically got a whole brand new Dolphins team, and they're doing it like how the Niners when the Niners first got Kyle Shanahan, it was just like this. They had some players, but everyone got hurt and the team turned into shit. So it's not like this is only Mike McDaniel's first season as a head coach. You give him a couple years, they'll deal a lot better with injuries. And I think they did a pretty good job with injuries considering Tua been out majority of the year. They still made the playoffs, even though Tua feel like Tua's only played like 6 games. It feel like
Yeah, it's funny
so.
that you say that too. When I kind of look at the playoff teams, I'm looking at these coaches that's kind of like first year coaches. I look at Brandon Staley. He's only been the coach of the Chargers for what, like about 2 or 3 years.
Right.
I feel like that's pretty good. He's been in the playoffs or he's been close to making the playoffs like the whole time he's been there. That's why I just kind of felt like maybe his job might be shouldn't have been on the line just because it's not like they haven't been in contention every time he's been coaching there. I feel like even if Staley was let go, I feel like he would if he didn't get a head coaching job right away, he would definitely get a like a defensive coordinator position because that's what his specialty is, defense.
You can tell.
Then you look
No
at Doug
offense.
Peterson, what he's able to do in his first year. Even though they lost, Doug Peterson was able to, first year get these guys to the playoffs, totally turn the
Well, Doug's
Jaguars
been around for a
team
minute.
around. Huh?
Doug's been around for a minute.
No, he's been around for a minute, but just I mean, he's been around for a minute. But for you to come into the organization, especially with the Jacksonville Jaguars went through last season, I feel
Yeah.
like that was a really good job by him just coming in, especially with Justin Herbert. Just been what is like his third season or second season. Yeah, second season been in the league, and for Doug Peterson to come in his first season and to get these guys all on the same page, I feel like it said a lot about Doug Peterson, the type
That's
of veteran coach he is.
pretty much coach of the year. I don't think. Oh yeah, I'll probably give him. You could probably even debate. You could probably say coach of the year. Kyle Shanahan
Yeah,
should be in that discussion, but they'll probably never give it to him just because the team he has around him. But if you want to look at it, he's had 3 different quarterbacks all year, so maybe Kyle Shanahan deserves to be at least the top 2 coach of the year in the discussion.
almost definitely.
Yeah, and then
Yeah. And then I'll look at another coach too. You got the coach from the Vikings. He's his first year coach. He was they won the division, and they had a really good record. In his first season. So I feel like that was a great job. And then you got the coach. You got Brian Daboll, first year head coach. Super great, super. Like we mentioned earlier, players coach. Players respond really well to him. From what it seems like. But yeah, I was great job by him too. Shit, maybe he might be one of the candidates for coach of the year for him turning that Giants program around.
okay. Shit, hey, y'all let it be known. Lamar just hit y'all with some straight facts or some good coaches. We're gonna see who's gonna come in and take some of
Good
these
first
coaches'
year
jobs.
coaches.
It's gonna be a lot of first year coaches heading into next year. Then you just seen I remember we're talking about from the Chiefs.
Bieniemy,
Huh?
from the Kansas City Chiefs, Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, we are talking about Eric Bieniemy, and he just had his first interview with the Colts. So it should be a whole bunch of first year new coaches heading into next year. It'll probably be like the most coaches changes that we had in the year. I wouldn't be surprised, especially with all
Hopefully
the
we get some.
talent that's available at coaching.
Yeah. Hopefully we get some. Hopefully we get some colored coaches. I said some colored. Hopefully we get some. Hopefully we get some black coaches in there, man. Hopefully we get some Airbnb, some great minds. We get some.
Hey man, I just
Some.
want
I seen that Coach Flores. I got another head coaching interview, so hopefully that goes well for him. Hopefully
to
he
be
gets another shot.
honest, I just want the best available. I don't give a fuck. You black, white, Asian, Indian, I don't give a fuck. Whoever the best coaching, whoever is gonna get my team the best chance to win, that's who should go in.
Yeah.
And I don't get
But shit, to be honest, shit, I agree with you. I want the best coaches to be the coaches, but shit, to be honest, it seems like a lot of majority of the coaches are the best coaches are the black coaches. Because if you think about it, who plays in the league? These black players.
what that
Who's the
mean.
best players? Black players.
That don't
You
mean they're
feel
the
me?
best coaches.
I mean, they're best coaches, but shit, they the ones that went through all the experiences and went through it all. Shit, they had the opportunity to if they had more opportunity to be head coaches and be offensive coordinators, we probably would see them. We would see more colored coaches and black coaches be better coaches than these white dudes. But it seems like the white dudes are the ones getting more opportunity.
That's true. I feel like they're trying to slowly change it, but I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there's got to be more. There does have to be more opportunity. There has to be more opportunity because even if they do give them an interview, sometimes, like you said, it feels like they give them an opportunity just so they could say that they gave them an opportunity, and then they go hire the
I
other
mean,
dude that is not the best candidate, even though the darker dude was a better candidate. I'm not saying that's gonna happen this year, but yeah, it's been like for the last since basically the NFL's been implemented. There's always been a better head coach, but it's been times where they'll go against the better head coach because of race. But
and to be honest, too, we see guys like, I mean, it's kind of I don't know, it's a little different because you got, a Hall of Famer like Peyton Manning, but you got Tony Dungy, black coach. He was a great coach. And then you had guys like,
right.
Mike Tomlin. Shit, what if we do like I was saying, if we had more coaches, black coaches with opportunities to be head coaches and to be in better situations, not like just thrown into situations like Lovie Smith. And it's just so crazy because we knew, like, I was like, man, hopefully Lovie Smith don't get fired after 1 year. And it just didn't seem like the situation he was getting thrown in was just the best situation in general. But it's
He ain't
okay if
deserve it.
they fired him for 1 year. I feel
He ain't
like he had
deserve
a second pick. They could have went into the next year, gave him one more chance. He had the second overall pick. They could have been in the building. They could, something, but they don't want to give him a chance, man.
But fuck it, we're gonna end it here. Hopefully, Lovie Smith does get another opportunity. He's kind of older, so I don't know if he'll get another head coach an opportunity, which is kind of fucked up. But outside of NFL works, they don't got no love for the coaches, the players. They only got love for the executives. And like even with from Washington, they'll protect them until hell freezes over. You got to have whole cold stone facts before they fire an NFL executive. But y'all let me know who's gonna be the biggest upset of the weekend. I'm going with me and Lamar are both actually gonna agree with that. If anybody has the best chance, it's gonna be the Ravens. But y'all let it be known, we gone.